Hello my friends and welcome back to Slay the Spire 2. Hope you're all doing well. Today we're playing the Necrobinder, which has received a bunch of changes in the last couple patches, and a lot of them have made some of the lesser used strategies more viable, and I think that this character is now really fun to play. It definitely still needs some buffs on some of the underused cards, but it's in a much better spot after the most recent couple patches. In my last recorded Necrobinder run, I lost, so today we're jumping in for Ascension 10 to see if we can redeem ourselves as we play the Necrobinder. Alright, let's look at our Niao buffs. Golden Pearl, very good. Stone Humidifier, pretty bad in general. A little better for the Necrobinder, who has very poor starting max health, but still not one that I'm usually going to take. But it's very rare that I don't take Leafy Poultice. Transforms are really good, especially now that card removal has been made more expensive. Transforming is kind of like removing, and the Necrobinder uses transforms pretty well. Looking at our shop options, we could spend the 150 gold at this shop, so that is also tempting, but it looks like if I just go to the right here, which is the most attractive path, at a quick glance we'll also get this shop as well. So yeah, let's just take the transforms. Okay, so Capture Spirit, pretty nice card. Adding 3 souls to the deck is pretty good. And Sentry Mode is pretty interesting. This is free damage every turn once you get it into play, and it's damage that Asti deals, which means that we might actually have the opportunity to build an Asti damage deck. Something that usually you don't end up with in the Necrobinder. You usually end up with Doom as your kill condition, but Asti damaging enemies is a little more valuable when you have this card. So cool transforms there. Let's look at our pathing. So we could go here. As always, our goal is to take only 3 of these non-elite fights for as long as possible, because after the first 3, they start coming from a harder pool of enemies, but give the same rewards. So we could go to the right here, and I could, in fact, just do this path. That looks really good. It does mean I don't get the shop, but I could zigzag here instead of taking this campsite and take the shop. Is it better to go this way? We get the elite, but we don't get to upgrade before we fight the elite. I think I like the right-hand path the most here, so we're just going to go to the right. We didn't draw Sentry Mode on the first turn. Actually, a really bad opening shuffle, which might make us take damage here. On the Necrobinder, you usually don't take damage in the early fights, but if you get a bad opening shuffle, then you will, and in fact, we did. We will play Capture Spirit. Capture Spirit, notice, is health loss, not damage, so it doesn't care about the Shrinker Beetle's shrink or weakness or strength loss. Same with damage from Asti. But we did take 1 here. And then this turn, I don't think I can afford to play Sentry Mode, so I'm gonna just try to get some blocking cards. 2 defends. Come on, game. Alright, here we go. We had to use all our souls for it, but we do at least get to play 3 defends. And then this turn, I can play Bodyguard, and I'll go defend. You just want to build up health on Asti in these early fights so that you can play your more powerful cards without taking damage, though here again we're going to take 1. And then let's go for some souls. Unleash is 7, Capture Spirit is 3, and Strike is 4, so we get to win the fight here. Okay, so some really powerful early game options. Negative Pulse is one of our better ways to actually win fights by applying Doom. Defy is one of the Necrobinder's best defensive cards. Weakness and Block is very strong in terms of stopping incoming damage. So I'd be happy with either of these. Wisp, I think, is generally not a great card overall. I'm going to take the Defy. Negative Pulse is very good as well, but Defy is such a key defensive card for this character, even after it's been nerfed, that I think, are almost always going to be taking that. Here at the Burdonis Nest, we're going to eat the egg. Adding the Burdonis egg to the deck gives you a curse. You then have to spend a campsite hatching it, which means not getting an upgrade or resting. And it just adds a kind of medium card. It's 0 cost, I think 18 damage, which is very strong in the early game, but later on won't be super relevant. So usually you're going to want to eat the egg at the Bernonus Nest, especially because our max HP was pretty low. Here, I'm going to play Defend and Sentry Mode. We'll take 1 damage in order to get Sentry Mode active, because that's going to make it much easier to get the Worm Crawler dead quickly. Play Sweeping Gaze. I'll play Bodyguard. I am going to keep Defy in the deck, because of course we could let that become ethereal and explode, but keeping it in the deck is going to be good for this fight. Sweeping Gaze, of course, and I'm going to play a Soul here, and I could play Capture Spirit to try to add more souls to the deck. I guess I will, and we'll play Bodyguard and Defy. That's the cards I was hoping to draw. Just building up health on Asti again. Sweeping Gaze, and then we'll just play Triple Defend here, leave some souls in the deck. Of course, if this fight goes long, we always win it, so I'm pretty happy just stalling, because we have the Sweeping Gaze. And there we go. 0 damage taken in that fight, which is pretty nice. Alright, so, High 5 is a little more interesting if we were trying to do an Asti build. 11 damage and 2 vulnerable to all enemies is not terrible for 2 energy. But I think I'm going to take Drain Power here. I really like having 1 Drain Power in the deck. It just makes your whole deck significantly stronger in long fights. And it's a good early damage card. Clumsy is an Ethereal Curse, and it gives you a relic. I'm just going to lose the HP here for the money, because adding curses to the deck I really dislike doing. At the Nibbit fight here, I will play Defy. So I could take some damage in order to get Sentry Mode online, but I think we'll just play Bodyguard and Defend and get the maximum health on Asti instead, because that's going to make my future turns much easier. Though here, of course, we drew none of our defends, so we're going to lose all that health on Asti, but at least we didn't take damage. This turn, I'm going to go Bodyguard, Unleash, and Drain Power in order to upgrade Bodyguard and Unleash, though we're going to kill the enemy before we redraw them, so it won't matter, but another 0 damage fight, and we're pretty happy about that. Right-hand hand. So we do have a 2-cost card. I also like Invoke a lot. Sculpting Strike is interesting. It can let you remove statuses and strikes from your deck as well. But I think here I'm just going to take the Invoke. It's really powerful for playing our 2-cost cards, and it's a card I'm always happy to have 1 of in a Necrobinder deck. You go upgrade here. Upgraded Sentry Mode, it only costs 1, which is exactly what we want. It's going to make it so much easier for us to actually get this into play without taking, a bunch of damage to do so. So we're going to do that. And then we'll go fight this elite. This is the elite I was worried about, but at least we get Sentry Mode on the first turn, which is good. So we'll play Sentry Mode, we'll play Strike, and we'll play Drain Power, upgrading our Strike. I'm worried about the Bygone Effigy just because this deck doesn't do amazing damage currently. Let's play Bodyguard. I will play Capture Spirit. It's 3 less damage than the Strike and doesn't benefit from slow because it's a skill rather than an attack. But it does shuffle some souls into the deck, which of course matters. And then this turn, I'm going to use my skill potion to try to minimize the damage we take against this deck. Or against this enemy. I have no way to apply Doom currently, so I could just take Oblivion here. We're going to play a lot of cards this turn, so this will help us kill it faster. I could also just take 6 block. I think I am going to take the Oblivion and just try to burn down this enemy. So we're going to do 3 Doom, the application of 3 Doom. And then I'm going to play Soul, I'm always playing Defy. I'm going to play a Soul. I'm going to play another Soul. And I'll replay Defy. And then I'm going to play Sweeping Gaze for sure. I could play Unleash to try to kill the enemy faster. I could play Invoke as well. I think I'm going to play the Invoke. And then play Sweeping Gaze. And then we save some health on Asti. We've got 21 Doom on the enemy, so we're killing it a little bit faster this turn. We redrew the Oblivion. That's kind of nice. And then let's go Drain Power, because I don't want to upgrade Strikes or Defends, so I'd rather upgrade my other cards here. So even though we're giving up a little bit of damage on the slow, I guess I'll play the Defend first. I don't mind hitting Defend that much, and it does increase my damage a bit. Okay, and also I hadn't done the math entirely, but we're killing the enemy anyways, so a pretty clean statue fight, thanks to the skill potion being very strong there. Ship in a Bottle, a great potion for us for taking more elite fights. Bronze Scales I actually love on the Necrobinder. Damage can sometimes be an issue for this character, but you build up a lot of block, because that's naturally what you want to do, and Bronze Scales can be very powerful. Okay, I'm going to take the Oblivion. I think that this is a card we want in our deck. So, good job, Skill Potion, kind of manifesting, putting this in the deck here. When you upgrade it, it applies 4 Doom every card you play, so with any Soul Generation, it's an easy way to kill enemies quickly. I do want to go to the shop, and we don't really need this campsite, so I will take the shop here. Countdown, I'm very interested in. Deathbringer, I'm very interested in as well. Red Mask, one of my favorite effects. One of my favorite relics. I think this is just one of the best relics out there. Gnarled Hammer, I don't really want. I think what we're going to do here is... I can't afford to buy Red Mask and Countdown. So, although I love Red Mask, I think this is an incredible relic. I'm going to remove a Strike instead, because they're just junking up our deck. And we'll take Countdown, because this is going to make it much easier for me to take clean fights relatively quickly. And then we'll go grab our relic here. Eternal Feather, not terrible. It at least will mean that we have to rest less frequently. I'm going to do the event over the fight. Nice, got a relic. Centennial Puzzle is a very strong relic, of course. And we've only taken... No, we've got a random fight. So we are going to get one hard mode fight here. So this will be from the harder enemy pool. But we can go to this rest site, and then I don't have to rest, because we have the Eternal Feather, so I can smith. And I could get Countdown for 9 Doom every turn. I could get Oblivion to make it a little bit stronger. I think Oblivion is typically going to be really strong once you start using it, and you're going to build around this card, so we'll upgrade it here. Then we're going to take the Elite fight. Okay, not a good Elite for us to face here, for sure. I'll play the Oblivion. I'll play Defy, because I want to keep that in the deck. We have, like, no AoE damage is the problem with this Elite. Then I'll play... I have Defy, and Oblivion's already upgraded, so we'll play Strike, and we'll play Drain Power. Because then I can upgrade 2 cards. This turn, I'm going to use the Ship in the Bottle. Just to prevent some damage, because then I can play Capture Spirit, which I definitely want in play. I can play Invoke. And I'll play Defend as well, try to maximize my health. Here I will get... I'll play the Soul, because I kind of want to... I might be able to draw into Oblivion if I play the Soul here. We do have the Infection as well, but I should be able to play some block. So I'm going to play a couple of these. We drew double Infection and didn't draw the... Well, I have 10 block, actually. We didn't draw the Oblivion, which is a little sad, but we'll play Sentry Mode, we'll play Countdown. Bodyguard, Invoke, and Unleash. and the infections are going to hit our block. Actually, drawing the infections there wasn't so bad, because we had that block from our potion anyways, which was just going to go to waste this turn if it didn't get used. So I think it's pretty nice to have that. Here, I'm going to play... I definitely want Defy. I guess we can play the Oblivion first. We'll play Defy. I'll play Capture Spirit. I want more souls in the deck. I will play... I could not play Sweeping Gaze. You do want this enemy to die to Doom, because then the frogs spawn after the end of its turn and are stunned basically for 2 turns. So I think what we're going to do here is we're just going to play the Defend, because it's going to take 12 damage. So if I play Drain Power, it'll die to the Thorns, and then the frogs won't be stunned for multiple turns. But if you let it get stunned, if you let it die to the Doom, you kind of get more than 1 turn with the enemies being stunned here. Or you get like a full turn of them being stunned. I'll play the Soul here because I'm looking for Oblivion again. So we're going to do a couple reshuffles, or do a couple redraws, and we'll play these Souls. Unleash for 18, I can just kill one. And so let's do that. We'll just kill this enemy right away. I'll play the Sweeping Gaze. I'm going to play the Defend because I have double infection in hand and I want to minimize the damage that I'm taking. And then I think over the Strike I could play Invoke, or I could strike this enemy, but I think I'll play Invoke over Strike here. Here I can play, I'm going to play the Oblivion on this enemy, because I should be able to do enough Doom that it dies this turn. Or, yeah, we're playing 12, so it actually won't quite die, but if the Sweeping Gaze hits it, then it'll die. So if it hits this one or this one, we could have killed it. And we'll just go ahead and kill the this enemy as well. This one's going to die to the Thorns, and it's just damaging Asti right now anyways. So we're going to kill both of these Wrigglers here. I feel like I could maybe have taken even less damage in this fight. This obviously was a very clean fight, but I'm thinking that there were probably ways we could have made it even cleaner. But getting the frog parasite fight with, we took what, like 7 damage is amazing, especially for a deck with no AoE in it. Razortooth, we're thrilled by. It is a little sad because we kind of have Drain Power doing the same thing, but this is an incredibly strong relic, so we're just very happy to have it. And here, both Negative Pulse and Deathbringer are very interesting cards for us. We don't currently have... We just got the one Invoke for extra energy generation. So I think I'm going to take the Negative Pulse over the Deathbringer because it's cheaper. So even though Weakness is really good, this is a lot more Doom, of course. Being able to play multiple cards is really powerful. So Negative Pulse hit there, I think, is stronger for us. Here, I can play Sentry Mode, which is great. We'll play Defend, and I'll play Drain Power, and I'm going to hit this small Twig Slime so that it dies to the Thorns. This turn, I have Defy on this enemy for sure. I have Sweeping Gaze, which unfortunately doesn't hit this slime, which is what I wanted it to hit. I've got 10 incoming damage, so I'm going to play Bodyguard. Or no, 13 incoming damage with the Constrict. And we have 13 total block currently. So I could play Defend to save Asti's health, or I could get Countdown out, or I could play Unleash to kill this enemy. I think just playing Unleash on the slime here, so that it dies to the Thorns, makes the most sense. This turn, of course, we'll start with Oblivion, we'll play Sweeping Gaze, we'll play Negative Pulse, we'll play Invoke, and I'll play Capture Spirit. I have 3 damage incoming, so that's enough that we don't take damage this turn. And then here, I'm gonna use my... Well, we'll start with Sweeping Gaze. I'll use these souls to try to draw into either enough damage to kill it right away, or into Defy so that we don't take damage. It looks like Bodyguard plus Unleash should be 20 damage, and then Strike is lethal, so we can just go ahead and do that. Alright, I would rather have one Deathbringer and one negative pulse than two negative pulse, probably. But do I just want to take it anyways? I think I do. I don't mind having two of these in the deck. It's a very strong card for us. It helps stack Doom, which is something that we're very interested in. 47 health, and I think our deck is pretty good, so I'm going to take this Elite Fight as well. Really nice to draw Defy on the first turn here, so that we can set up Sentry Mode, and it costs me minimal health. Here, we will, of course, start with Oblivion, and we'll play the Sweeping Gaze. I'm gonna play Invoke for sure, and Bodyguard here, and I think just the negative Pulse. We're gonna take some damage, but I think that's gonna be better than getting Countdown set up, just to prevent the maximum amount of damage. This turn, we'll play Sweeping Gaze, of course, and we can just cast all our cards. So we'll play Bodyguard, Defend. Those are both already upgraded, so we'll play Capture Spirit and Strike, and then play Drain Power here. Oh, right, those are getting upgraded by the Razor Tooth. The Drain Power is useless now. Not useless, because we might discard spells, but usually isn't going to be that helpful. Let's play the Soul here first, because I could draw into Oblivion, and then I'll play Oblivion, play all of these cards. 15 damage incoming, and the enemy is doomed, so we're just going to block the maximum damage, kill the Berdonis, and then we can go on to the next fight. Strawberry, also really nice. I do like increasing my max HP, and then here... I love Cleanse. I think that being able to exhaust cards is one of the strengths of the Necrobinder. Dance Macabre, we don't have anything that costs 2 or more. So yeah, I'm just going to take a Cleanse. I would prefer Seance, of course, but being able to exhaust cards from your deck to remove bad cards and, of course, remove status effects is a really powerful and somewhat unique feature of this character. I mean, not unique, but it has some of the best ways to do it. Here, I'm going to... I could upgrade Countdown. I could upgrade Invoke. It makes it a little more powerful when cast. I could upgrade Cleanse, which makes it a little easier to cast, because it's now Bodyguard with a bonus effect. I think I'm just going to upgrade the Invoke. Having this be upgraded means that you get way more value when you actually play it. And then let's go ahead and take the fight here. Alright, so I definitely want to get Sentry Mode out. And I guess I'm playing Bodyguard and Cleanse. I could play Capture Spirit. Bodyguard, we just lose the health right away. So maybe it's actually better to play a Capture Spirit and make my deck stronger. Yeah, I think we're going to accept taking a little more damage this turn in order to get the souls into the deck, and then I'm going to cleanse a Strike. And we're cleansing the Strike over the Ascender's Bane because Ascender's Bane cleanses itself. Alright, this turn, let's start with... We're always going to play Defy, and this prevents 3 damage, so we'll play it against that enemy. And I'll play Sweeping Gaze here, play Negative Pulse, getting some Doom counting up, and I'll play Countdown, leaving the souls in the deck here. And we're going to take some more damage this turn, but that's alright. We're fragile this turn, so we're just using this turn to set up our powers. And then here, we're going to play Sweeping Gaze, Invoke, Defend, And I'll play Drain Power, because it'll upgrade some of the cards that we haven't upgraded yet. Maybe I should have used my Flex Potion there as well. I don't know that we're getting more than 5 damage out of it. Alright, so this turn, we now actually get to play all of our cards here, which is good. I'm going to Oblivion something. I have Drain Power plus Strike, that's 18, plus 19 is 37. So I don't need to Oblivion this Kin Follower. So let's Oblivion the other one. And then, doesn't matter what order I play the Drain Power or anything in, because all of this stuff is getting upgraded anyways. So let's go Sweeping Gaze first. We'll see what it hits. I'll play Negative Pulse here. Now I just need 8 damage on this enemy, which Strike isn't enough for. Strike plus Capture Spirit is. So we'll do Capture Spirit on this Kin Follower, Strike on it, so it's going to die to the Doom. And then I'll Drain Power on the other one. And then this one's going to die to the Doom as well. So a bit of a messy fight here. I took a little more damage than I was hoping for, but we should make it out fairly safely. Let's play a Soul and then another one. And I can't draw into... Let's see, is there something I want to cleanse? I could cleanse Defend. But I don't mind having a Defend plus in the deck. I can't draw into Oblivion this turn, unless I cycle through many, many souls. So I don't think it's that important to do that. So let's play Bodyguard. It upgrades it. I'll play Sweeping Gaze, of course. And then I'm going to play the Defend and the Invoke. And that's enough block that we don't take damage this turn. Here we have 12 damage incoming, but we're fragile this turn, but we got Invoke out, so we're in much better shape. I should have... I'm probably playing Oblivion this turn, so I should not have played the Sweeping Gaze there. But we're going to play a bunch of souls. Alright, well, it didn't end up mattering. We'll play Defy, we'll play Bodyguard, we'll play Negative Pulse, play Unleash, play Drain Power. And now we've got a bunch of health on Asti, so we're much, much safer. Here I have 18 damage incoming, so let's start with a Soul, so I can play Oblivion first. I'll play another Soul here, trigger the reshuffle, and then I can cleanse my last Strike, if I want to. We're always playing Sweeping Gaze. 18 incoming damage. Can I kill the enemy this turn with Drain Power plus Negative Pulse? That's 9, 20, and then 8 more from the Oblivion, so 28. And then we're playing 1 more card for 4 more, or 7 more if it's Capture Spirit. No, 8 more. So yeah, that doesn't work. So we're just gonna defend ourselves here, because I don't believe I have lethal this turn. And then here I'm going to play Capture Spirit, put a bunch more souls in the deck, and then I think we'll accept losing a bunch of health on Asti just so that I can play Invoke this turn. Actually, maybe I did have lethal because of the Thorns, but it didn't end up mattering. So we'll play Oblivion this turn. I'm sure people will let me know in the comments. So if you're curious, you can certainly check those out. And there we go. So we took a little more damage than I was hoping for in that fight, but I think our deck is in pretty good shape at the end of Act 1. We have a lot of good scaling on into longer fights. I just need good defensive cards here. Alright, so looking at these options, the Scythe is a pretty interesting one to get relatively early. End of Days is also pretty nice for just killing stuff, but I'm almost always going to take Neurosurge if I get it. Obviously, this can turn itself off if you don't have enough health to support it, but 3 energy and 2 cards for 0 is incredible, so Neurosurge is almost always going to be the pick here. And then let's move on to Act 2. All right, so I'm coming back to this several hours later. I had a couple other things to take care of, but we're jumping in to Act 2 here. We have Oribus as our ancient. I think Oribus is typically the one who has the worst rewards. I'm just going to remind myself what's in this deck, because it's been a minute since I've looked at it. Right. So what I'm mostly looking for here is energy generation, if we can get that, and card draw, if I can get that. So anything along those lines I'm interested in. I'm not a huge Alchemical Coffer fan. If we have a pretty difficult track, like if we have a difficult Act 2, then the random potions can be pretty helpful for getting us through it relatively safely. Venom Glass here, taking 15 silent cards is kind of interesting. I think that the silent typically is the best class to add cards from to other classes, because it has a lot of card draw, it has a lot of defensive options as well. But our deck is already 19 cards, which isn't massive, but definitely we don't want to add like more than maybe 10 total cards for the rest of the run. So adding a bunch of silent cards now may not be what we're interested in. And Bound Phylactery, I have not been incredibly impressed with this relic, honestly. It looks very good at first glance because it looks like a lot of block, but in Act 2, the small amounts, like the going from 1 to 2 summon every turn, just mostly doesn't matter. And in later acts, it gets even less powerful. In Act 3, it gets even less powerful. And starting with 5 block is pretty good, but there are relics that do way better than this. I think here, though, I'm still going to take it, but this is why I think that this Ancient is one of the weaker ones. Looking at our pathing here, so I could go to the shop, which I definitely want to do. Looks like there's nowhere I can go where we aren't taking 2 hard mode fights, because in Act 2 and 3, after your first 2 fights, they start showing up from the harder enemy pool. Oh, actually, I guess I could go here and take 3 and then take an elite, and then we would be taking this one as well, so that's still 4 hard mode fights if I do this track. We do get a shop that way on the left. We could take this shop as well instead of this event. So that's an option. It's 4 total hallway fights, and as always, I'm just trying to minimize hallway fights. In this game, in the current balance of early access, that's usually what you should be trying to do. Here, we're taking 4 basically in a row, and then we can go something like this, and take 3 elite fights, so pretty hard, Act 2 path as well, though we could get a slightly easier one if I go to the left. Here, I could take events. If I'm doing this right-hand track, I probably am just taking this one, because I want the shop. And it looks like that's going to be the best option. So we'll go up the middle here. Really unhappy with this Act 2 map, but obviously sometimes that happens. Okay. Against the Thieving Hopper here, this enemy is really dangerous in the early game. It just hits really hard, and it's hard to do enough damage to kill it. Let's play Bodyguard, Defend, and Negative Pulse, just to block the damage and start getting some Doom on it. We'll see what it steals. It stole Cleanse. I'm not devastated if we lose Cleanse. Obviously, we'd prefer to have it in the deck, but if we can't kill the Thieving Hopper, then it's kind of fine here. We'll play Neurosurge, drawing some cards. We'll play out the entire hand here. And we've got a lot of Doom on it, so hopefully this should be enough to keep us from needing to put the Cleanse back in the deck here. We'll play Defy, so 17 block, so I'm taking 1 damage unless I use my skill potion, which obviously we don't really want to do, so we'll just play a bunch of cards here. Take 1, and then this turn I didn't have Invoke. I'll play Sweeping Gaze, and I'll play Negative Pulse that puts enough Doom on it, and then we can just play Defend and Defend. So we took 1. It is kind of important for me to maintain my health because we have Neurosurge, so health is directly related to our ability to use that. I'll discard the Flex Potion because it's pretty bad. Always look at your card rewards before you take your card back, because it might change whether you want the card back. In this case, we still want Cleanse, I think. But Friendship is a perfect card for us to get. Extra energy is exactly what we've needed, so we're thrilled to pick that up, at least. Then we'll go to this event. Almost never want to add Normality to the deck. It's a very dangerous curse. So we're going to go ahead and do a perfect fit here. What do I want to redraw? This only works when you reshuffle, so it's only it like puts the card on top of your second shuffle and every shuffle thereafter. So Oblivion is pretty good. Invoke, I'm always happy to redraw, I think. Defy, I'm pretty happy to redraw every time. I could also just put it on a power if there's no card I want to reshuffle, but let's put it on Oblivion. This will let me replay Oblivion a bunch, which is pretty important. Then we're going to go to the shop here. Alright, so, Candelabra, I do want more energy generation. Warpaint is pretty good as well. Scourge is good card draw. Thinking Ahead can help you find the right card to play that turn and can set up future turns as well. But I think here I'm just going to go for a card removal. We'll remove a strike, keep the deck nice and clean. Do I want the Scourge? Adding Doom to the enemy is pretty powerful, and this helps me draw into my more powerful cards, so I think we will buy a Scourge here. Do I want any of these potions over the ones that I have? Always good to look, but I don't think so. And Pull Aggro, especially not upgraded. I'm not a fan of that card, so it's on to the next fight. Alright, here we're going to go Oblivion and then Neurosurge. I'll play Negative Pulse. Well, we can just play out the entire hand again. Let's go with, I guess, playing the whole hand again. So I'll start with Cleanse, and we'll get rid of just one of the defends is fine. And then I will play Scourge and see what we draw into. Okay, Ascender's Bane is not a bad card to draw into, actually. And then here, I can go Defy, because I'm always going to be doing that. I need to block all this incoming damage. I'm always playing Sweeping Gaze, and then I need to decide what to spend my other 3 energy on. Here, I'm going to block as much damage as possible. And then, do I want to play Drain Power or Capture Spirit? I think I'll just play the Capture Spirit. It doesn't help break the block on the Tunneler, but it adds a bunch of souls to the deck, which is something that we really do want. Alright, we'll play Oblivion, and then we'll start playing some souls and see what we draw into. Also, the fact that Scourge upgrades itself is so good for us. Is there a way that I can... I guess I just need to block 26 damage this turn, because it's dying anyways. So we'll just play all this. And then it dies to the Doom. So, clean fight there. We made it out of the non-hard mode fights without taking damage, but the next 2 fights are going to be harder. I don't need a third Negative Pulse. I don't need Grave Blast or Sculpting Strike, so we're just going to skip here. Here, I do want Defy. I don't have a way to remove the debuffs and actually apply the weakness. Let's use my Skill Potion, because I think we probably will want to use that in this fight. Melancholy could be pretty good. It could help us block a bunch this turn. Eidolon is a fun combo card, but obviously not for this deck. So let's keep Defy in the deck. We'll play Negative Pulse. We'll play Melancholy, block all the damage, and then I'm going to play Cleanse as well. And I'll cleanse this strike. This turn, I'm going to play Friendship, Bodyguard, and do I play Invoke or Defend? Yeah, so Defend prevents damage this turn, Invoke gives me more energy to work with next turn, but we already have Friendship in play, so let's just try not to take damage in this fight. And I still have Neurosurge that I can play as well. Here, I'm going to play Oblivion on this enemy. And I'll play Neurosurge. Actually, let's play Capture Spirit first. And then Neurosurge, so I can draw into these souls. Play a soul here. Play another one. I can Scourge into a soul, and I think that is worth doing. So I'll play Scourge here. Play a soul and redraw. And then we redraw into Oblivion. Let's play Negative Pulse, because I can put Oblivion on this enemy as well. So I'm going to play the Negative Pulse here, put Oblivion on this one. I have Melancholy for 17 block. It's very expensive, but probably prevents the most damage. So let's just go ahead and do that. And then I'll play Sentry Mode as well, because we're killing this Chomper, and the other one we can kill with the Sentry Mode. So we used a potion here, but a pretty clean fight again, and that's what we're really hoping for in these hard mode fights. Let's start by playing Cleanse, I suppose, and we'll get rid of a Defend, and then I can play Scourge. Play Defy here, and we'll play Sweeping Gaze and Negative Pulse just to accelerate the fight win. And there we go. So hopefully I get a potion to replace that. We got a Flex Potion, obviously not a good potion, but it's still fine. Do I want a Wisp or a Danse Macabre? We don't have anything that costs 2 or more, so Danse Macabre, not great. Wisp, I even upgraded. I'm not a huge fan of this card, and we already have Invoke and Neurosurge and Friendship to generate extra energy, so I think we're going to skip on this card reward here, and we'll take one more fight against the Hunter-Killer. Let's start by playing Defy, because of course I want to do that. I will play Cleanse as well. I'll Cleanse and Defend, because the Strike is currently in my hand. And then I guess we'll just use Unleash here. Drain Power and Strike are pretty useless. Alright, so this turn we're playing against the Hunter-Killer, so it reduces my strength and my dex every time I play a card. So I want to play my blocking cards before I play other cards. So we're going to play Negative Pulse first. And then I'll play Neurosurge. It doesn't matter the order for the rest of these cards. And then I'll play another Negative Pulse. It's only 3 block now, but at least, 3 is better than no block. Then I'll play Scourge and see what I draw into. I should have played Capture Spirit before Scourge, actually, but we'll now play all of these cards here. $24 damage incoming from the enemy this turn. I do want to play the Defend first before the Oblivion, I think. So I'm going to do that. Then I'll play Oblivion. Then I will play Soul. I could play another Defend for 2 block. I guess it's worth doing that. And then we'll play another Soul here. And Bodyguard at least isn't affected by the Dexterity loss. So we'll keep playing these souls. I'll replay Oblivion. That's great. And then I can play Sweeping Gaze. Not affected by the strength loss because this is an Asti attack. Yeah, and I can't draw into an Oblivion with Scourge or anything like that. So we'll play Sweeping Gaze here. I will play the Scourge because I could draw into Defy, which would have prevented more damage. But I guess we'll play Cleanse here, and we'll get rid of the Strike. And then we're going to take some damage, but the enemy will die because it's hitting me 3 times, and we have 3 Thorns. So we took 9, but honestly, given that we had to take 2 hard mode fights right at the beginning of Act 2, I'm pretty happy getting out of that with only losing 9 health. I'll take the Explosive Ampoule over the Flex Potion because we're not actually attacking. And I will take a second Defy. This is a super strong defensive card, and I'm pretty happy to have a second copy in the deck. I'm going to go to the campsite, and we get to heal thanks to our relic, and then we'll do an upgrade. Going to upgrade Neurosurge. It gives 4 energy when upgraded. I could upgrade Countdown. I don't really need to upgrade my skills because they upgrade themselves. Upgrading Friendship just removes the strength loss, which we don't care about. I think I'll upgrade Neurosurge because no, we don't have enough card draw to make upgraded Neurosurge that important. So let's upgrade Countdown, because 9 Doom every turn is obviously a lot better. Alright, so now I have to decide which direction I'm going. So I could go to the... well, I guess I'm going to the left no matter what, because I would choose between a campsite. I'd take the campsite over the event anyways. Vajra, one of the worst relics we could have gotten. So, do I want 2 campsites and 2 elites and no... enemy, no hard mode enemy? I think we can easily take 2 elites in the current state of the deck, so we're going to go to the right here. And then we'll do an upgrade. I will upgrade Scourge, because having this draw 2 cards the first time we draw it is still pretty good. So even though attacks and skills aren't great to upgrade for this deck, it's still worth doing that. And then we'll go take the elite fight. Alright, let's start with Oblivion into Neurosurge. And then the nice thing about this enemy is it's when it's hit by an attack that it adds a daze to the draw pile. Now, this is any attack, so it includes the Sentry Mode attacks, but Capture Spirit doesn't cause problems. So we can play that. We'll play Defy, and I will play Sentry Mode. It makes Ethereal cards anyways, so if we don't want the dazes, we can just let them disintegrate, and this way we get Sentry Mode out of the deck. I'm not playing Strike because, of course, if you play Strike against this enemy, it just puts a bunch of dazes in your deck. Here, I will start with... I do want the Countdown in play. I want as much block as I can get as well. So, let's play Bodyguard... Negative Pulse. I think this is a good spot to use the Energy Potion in. So I'll use my Energy Potion, and I'll play Cleanse, and we'll cleanse a Defend here. Play a Soul. I'll play another Soul. I'm looking for Defy again, because we have a second one in the deck. So I will play one more Soul here, I think, and then I can play Defy. And then for my last card, I'll just put Countdown in play, because that'll help end the fight a little faster. And then we're going to let the Sweeping Gaze disintegrate. I don't want to draw a daze here in exchange for 10 damage. This is a kind of perfect hand for us. We can go Oblivion, play the Friendship, play the Invoke, play the Defend for the Oblivion. Do I want... because this is an Oblivion turn, Sweeping Gaze is a little more attractive, and we've just reshuffled, so 1 daze in the deck isn't that big a deal, so I'm going to play the Sweeping Gaze instead of letting it disintegrate this turn. Here, I'm going to play Cleanse, and we can cleanse the Daze, because I think the Defend is fine. And then I can just play everything. So we'll do Defy, Bodyguard. That's a pretty big Unleash, so it's worth putting a Daze in the deck. And then Sweeping Gaze, will that help kill the... or 2 Dazes in the deck. The enemy is taking 24 Thorns damage, which would put it up to 71. Or no, 81. So Sweeping Gaze does kill it this turn. Gambler's Brew, pretty good potion. Old Coin, we don't have a shop for the rest of this run, but that's okay. We will enact 3. And then, yeah, I'll take a second countdown. Once you start having multiple of these in play, it can help win these boss fights a lot more easily. And I am quite worried about the Insatiable fight. This is a very dangerous boss for the Necrobinder, which tends to fight pretty slowly. Here, I'm going to go with... What do I want to play here, or upgrade here? The first Capture Spirit being upgraded isn't bad. Upgraded Cleanse being, getting +2 Summon isn't terrible. Neurosurge and Friendship are my non-attack, non-skill cards that I could upgrade. Upgrading Defy, because we cast that pretty much every time we draw it, so it's 3 block right away is pretty nice. This is a really interesting spot where we don't really need the upgrades, but we are full health. So I think I'll upgrade Neurosurge. This can, if I draw into Scourge, and we will add more card draw to the deck, this can be a helpful card to have upgraded. So against this enemy, we do want to do attack damage, so I need to remember that, because I often forget to do attack damage against this enemy, just because with like this type of deck, we're not making a lot of attacks, so I just don't think about it. Here, I want to get Sentry Mode and Countdown into play. Let's play Sentry Mode, because that'll generate an energy every turn. And then I'll just play the Defend to try to maximize my block. Because when I play Sweeping Gaze here, we gain an energy, thanks to the Vital Spark on the Infested Prism. I'll play Cleanse, and we'll get rid of our Strike. And then we're going to play 2 Defends, and I think I'll Invoke over playing Countdown. Yes, it means I'm not setting up the countdowns until later in the fight, but I think that's okay. Here, I'm always playing Sweeping Gaze, and Unleash should let us generate energy. So let's start with Neurosurge. Draw these 2 cards. Okay, so I should have Neurosurge first, because I could have got 4 more Doom with the Oblivion. And did I... maybe I wanted to Capture Spirit before Neurosurging. I should have thought of that as well. Thought about that as well. Let's play Defy. Of course, weaken the enemy. And we'll play Bodyguard, and we'll play Capture Spirit, and we'll play Unleash, generating some energy. Not that that matters that much, because we can just play everything this turn. Asti takes some damage, but the enemy hits a bunch, so it takes a ton of Thorns damage as well. You can see why the Thorns relic is so good for this character. Like, I think the Thorns relic is quietly really good in Slay the Spire 2. It was not a super powerful relic in STS 1, but in 2, I think it's actually really strong. I'm going to play my Soul here. We'll play Cleanse, and I'll cleanse a Defend, because I don't really need multiples of those. And then we'll play another one, and I'll play Friendship. I'll play Sweeping Gaze, gaining an energy. I could play a Soul here, but I think I don't want to draw into Defy, because I don't really want to play the Defies when the enemy's not attacking. So let's just play Invoke and Unleash this turn. Here, I'll start with Capture Spirit, and then I'll play Scourge. And can't draw anymore, so we're just going to play everything. Defy, negative pulse, Bodyguard, and Drain Power. Sadly, we're short of generating extra energy, not that we could use it for anything anyways. But this is a very clean Infested Prism fight as well, so we're pretty happy with that. Obviously, the ordering here was a little suspect, but we were always going to win the fight this turn anyways, so I just wanted to click as few times as possible. Venerable T-Set, really nice. That'll help me set up my powers on the first turn. Okay, so Death's Door is a good blocking card. A second Scourge could help me loop adding a bunch of Doom to the deck, which is pretty nice. So I think I'm going to take a second Scourge. Card draw is something that we're very interested in this deck. And then, no, another fight. Alright. So here I will take some damage, unfortunately, but we're going to play Sentry mode, and I'll play the Defend. I guess I'll play Scourge before I play Defend. But I'm almost always doing that anyways. Here I'm going to play Sweeping Gaze, Invoke, Defy so it doesn't disintegrate, and Defend to upgrade it, because of course we have our Razortooth Relic. 21 incoming damage this turn, so this is where it starts getting a little spookier. Let's play Cleanse first, and I'll get rid of... I don't think we need the negative pulse, so I'll cleanse that. And then I'll play Scourge. I will play Neurosurge. And then I can just play everything here, so we'll play Bodyguard, Sweeping Gaze, Negative Pulse, Defy, Countdown, Friendship, and Unleash. And actually, even though we drew a ton of cards there, we're still taking damage on Asti, which is funny. I don't have any card draw this turn, but we can play Oblivion, we can play Defy, and we can play Bodyguard. Play Cleanse and get rid of the Strike. Get another Countdown into play, and do 10 more damage. Alright, so I actually won't be taking damage against the Laos Progenitor here, which is nice. And let's see what card we get. I'll definitely discard this for the Droplet, because this is a way better card. And second Neurosurge. This is where it starts getting really dangerous to have multiple Neurosurges in the deck. Obviously this card is incredibly powerful, but once you start adding 6 Doom every turn, you put a lot of pressure on yourself to win the fight quickly. So I think I'm going to take Fetch. This just lets us cycle through the deck somewhat more quickly. It can work with some of the other synergy effects with Asti's attacks, and it's basically free most of the time. And then here I can do another upgrade, because we're full health again. What do I actually want? I guess I'll just upgrade the second Scourge, so we can draw into our cards faster. And then we'll go ahead and take the Insatiable fight. Alright. So this starting turn, I don't need to do any of these things right away. So let's play Capture Spirit, and then I'll play Scourge. I'm pretty happy just playing both of those, that's fine. I will play a Soul as well. And Invoke is one of the cards I was interested in dropletting for, so I'm going to play the Invoke here. And I think I'm going to play Droplet so I can get Friendship into play right away. Because then we'll have extra energy for the rest of this fight. And I'll play Countdown over Unleash here. I could have gone for Neurosurge, but just getting the Friendship set up right at the beginning, I think, makes the most sense here. Let's start with the Soul. And, okay, nice. Oblivion and Soul is probably the best draw we could get there. So we'll play another Soul. I'll play Defy. 12 damage incoming, so we can just play all these cards, it's fine. I could use my Gambler's Brew, but taking up the Sandpit to 7 is really nice here. 31 damage incoming this turn, so let's start with Cleanse. Getting rid of this Defend, and then we'll play Neurosurge. I can then play Defy, great draw there, and we can just play everything, so we will. And we actually don't even take damage on our character, just Asti, which is pretty nice. Here, we're going to play Oblivion, of course, and then I'll play the Fetch. And we'll play Defy, even though it doesn't really do anything. I guess I should have played Scourge first, but I want to keep the Defy in the deck no matter what. And then I'll play Sweeping Gaze, Invoke, and Bodyguard, keep building up health on Asti. We don't need to play the 2-cost Frantic Escape, because we still have plenty of time on the escape here. I have no card draw this turn, so we're just playing everything in the hand. I could have used my Gambler's Brew, but I don't think we need to. Probably not in this fight at all. But I will if I need to on a specific turn. Scourge, I'll play a couple more Souls, because I can draw into Oblivion, right? Oh no, it's in the discard. But I can draw into Defy, which I'm still pretty happy to just draw into. Well, it was the very last card. But I guess we now draw into Oblivion because we have Perfect Fit on it. And I'll play Defy here. Play Sweeping Gaze. 198, so there's no chance that I kill it this turn. So let's just play a Frantic Escape just to make sure that nothing terrible happens. And then this turn, I'm going to start with Capture Spirit into Scourge. I'm going to play Defy, because I'm always playing that. And then I guess it's just, well, we'll play Sweeping Gaze. The enemy's going to die this turn. So then I'll play Defend to block the maximum amount of damage. And then we had a 0 health cost fight here. So the deck is definitely coming together. That's one of the more dangerous bosses that you can ever face is the Necrobinder. I think it's very hard to fight the Insatiable as this character. So we're pretty happy with that. Some really good options here. I love both Devour Life and Reaper Form. Spirit of Ash, we have... What ethereal cards do we have? We have 2 Defies. So Spirit of Ash is actually pretty interesting as well for this character. 2 Defies, and we're getting a Sweeping Gaze every turn. So this is just 4 block a turn. This is a lot of summoning, but I think I actually would take Spirit of Ash over Devour Life. Reaper Form is really fun, but our only attacks... Well, Sentry Mode, it doubles the damage of Sentry Mode, basically. Makes our Unleash tick up a lot of Doom as well. So do I need more damage or more block? I think Spirit of Ash is probably the safer card, because it's basically a power that provides 4 or 8 block every turn. Reaper Form is really powerful, though. Devour Life is fun because you can stack up a ton of stats on Asti, and we do have Capture Soul, but that's our only soul generation. I can see a good argument for any of these 3 cards, but Reaper Form is so much fun, I'm just going to take it here. Spirit of Ash, I think, might be the stronger pick, but I just love Reaper Form, so we're going to go with it. And entering Act 3, let's see what the Ancient has. So, we've got Mark 7 random combats. Enemies in those rooms have 1 HP. This is really good if your deck is spec'd into beating the bosses, but not very good at the actual hallway fights. Then Fur Coat makes those pretty easy. Enchant all card rewards with Glam. This card has replay once per combat. If we're planning to add a bunch more cards to our deck, then the Glam reward is very good. And we probably will add at least like 4 more cards to the deck during this act, because there's a few more things that we want. Or we could add Apotheosis to the deck, which we definitely don't need because we already have the Razortooth here. I think that this is overall another fairly weak set of Ancient rewards, at least for the deck as it currently stands. Upgrade all my cards. We already have a relic that basically does that already, so we don't want to spend 2 energy on that. We're not adding too many cards, so Glam isn't incredible, but I think it's probably what we're going to go with. I think that this deck can fairly easily maintain its health. I mean, I'll look at the act to see how difficult the path is going to be. So we have a track like this where we only take 3 fights, or like this where we get a shop. We have 600 gold. So what a weird map generation as well. So I definitely want the left-hand track out of here. And then looks like if I just go to the left, we'll fight 3 elites. So I don't think... We don't have a lot of choice in which way we're going, which also makes Fur Coat worse. So let's take Glitter here. Again, a fairly weak Ancient reward for this deck. But there will probably be at least a couple cards that we're happy to double play. So let's take that one. All right. This is... you, like, always get this as the first fight in Act 3, and it's always super painful because you're going to lose some max HP against the scrolls unless you have a specific draw in your opening hand, which we don't. I think I will use my Gambler's Brew to try to maintain my maximum health. So I'm going to discard everything except Bodyguard here and try to draw at least some blocking cards. And we'll play Negative Pulse, Bodyguard, and I could Unleash for some damage. I could also just play Defend. Basically, currently we're taking 16, which would leave Asti at 1, so Defend does save me some max health from the Scroll of Biting, so I guess I play the Defend here. I really dislike this encounter. There's so many decks that just can't deal with it easily. Alright, so here we have Neurosurge to draw some cards. I could start with Fetch as well, but let's play Neurosurge first. Getting 4 energy means that we should be in okay shape. Actually, do I capture Soul first? I probably should. So I'm going to capture Soul, the low health enemy here. And then I'll play Neurosurge, drawing into 2 souls. That's great. I'll draw another soul because I'm looking for Oblivion, and I'll play another one, going up to 10 cards in hand. Now I can play Oblivion. Let's Oblivion the enemy that's not attacking, because it's the one I'm least likely to try to kill this turn. So we'll play Oblivion here. I'll play another soul, and then we'll play Defy on this enemy. I'll play Defy on this enemy. That's fine. What do I still have in the deck? We do have the Ascender's Bane, so I could play Cleanse if I want to. Let's do that. Cleanse, and I'll cleanse the Ascender's Bane. I don't need the Reaper form either, so I could probably have cleansed that as well. Let's Fetch hitting this enemy, drawing a card, and we currently have 24 incoming damage. So we'll play Negative Pulse and Defend, blocking all of the incoming damage here. And then do I want to play Scourge, Sentry Mode, or Invoke? I guess I'll just play the Invoke, because that's going to give us the most value next turn. So we save some health on Asti. We only have the Scroll of Biting attacking us this turn, or the one Scroll of Biting attacking us this turn. I can play Oblivion on this enemy, which will kill it. Will it kill the other one as well? We're playing all of our other cards, so that's going to be 16 total Doom. So that would be 30, and then it's taking 3 Thorns damage. So I might as well kill, or taking 6 Thorns damage. So I might as well kill the higher health one by playing Oblivion this turn. And then we'll play Reaper Form, Defend, Sentry Mode. And then it's going to take some damage and die to the Doom. And then this enemy, we can play Sweeping Gaze. Now it's dying, so just Defy and Cleanse, and that should be enough block that we don't die. I'll play the Fetch just to see if there's anything else. Okay, so we lost 2 max health. It does hurt to lose 2 max health, but now we're just back down to our starting max HP after some adjustments. We'll take the potion here, and then double play Cleanse is pretty interesting. So we're up against the Doormaker and the Queen. They do add some effects to the deck, but not that many. This isn't like the test subject that adds a lot of cards to your deck, but Cleanse, double casting Cleanse is still pretty nice. It's 10 summon and removes 2 cards that you don't want for that fight. So I think we will take that with the Glam reward. And then we're going to keep going up to the left because we want to go to the shop. Alright, I guess I'll let Defy time out here, and we'll just start with Reaper Form to make this fight a little faster. I really want to upgrade that Reaper Form because when it's upgraded, it retains, so you don't have to play it right away. Here, let's start with Capture Spirit. and cleanse. We'll double cast the cleanse here. And we'll cleanse a strike, replay it, and we'll cleanse a defend. Then I'll play fetch, drawing a card. And adding 3 doom. And then I guess I'll just make the deck better, or do I play countdown? I think we'll just play countdown here. I could play cleanse, it's more health on Asti, but getting countdown going against the Sculptor, who, of course, gains a ton of strength every turn, so you do need to kill this enemy somewhat quickly, I think is going to be more important. Let's start with Neurosurge, and we're looking for Oblivion here, of course, which we will then play, since we drew into it. Now I can play a soul, and another one. Nothing, I don't have any deck manipulation or anything currently, no cleanses or capture soul or anything like that, so let's play Scourge here. And I will play Sentry Mode. I definitely want to get that out. I want to get Bodyguard going. I need a bunch of block here, which we actually are a little short on block, right? I have 24 damage, but we didn't draw our last Defy is the bottom card of the deck. Is it worth using my Swift Potion to save some health? Because we're currently taking 8. I think it is worth using the potion. 8 damage is a lot of damage, and so spending 1 potion to prevent 8, I think, is pretty reasonable. And then we can now redraw into Defy and everything, so we're fine. We also double cast Oblivion this turn. Let's get the Friendship going, and I'll play Invoke as well for next turn, just to make my next turn a little safer. Here I will play another Cleanse, I think, although I actually want to draw into some Defends. So let's play Scourge. And I'll play the Fetch. I'll play another Scourge. I'll play Negative Pulse, Defend, Bodyguard, and Cleanse here, or another Defend. I guess Cleanse is better, because it's Asti health, and then the enemy... and we did enough Doom. I wasn't really paying attention to how much Doom it had, but we had lethal there anyways. Alright, double Grave Warden is incredible. We're thrilled with this. This is exactly what we're looking for from a Glam reward. So that's great. Then let's go to this fight. This enemy, we have... Well, we only have one thing we can do on this turn, but we have the doubled up Grave Warden, which we can play, which is great. Also, I should always play all my cards, just because we have the Razortooth, so even if a Defend or something isn't relevant, we should play it anyways. We've already played Oblivion. Let's start with the Fetch here, just see what we can draw into. Defy is a great draw, so I'll play that. 18 incoming damage, so let's just go for Invoke, and I could play Sentry Mode. It means Asti will die, or I could play Defend to save Asti's health. I think I'd rather save Asti's health this turn, and I'll leave the Soul in the deck. Here I can play the Reaper form, but let's start with Scourge, see what we draw into. Alright, and we'll play Reaper form double countdown, I think. Or actually, I'll play the countdown and I'll play Bodyguard, because more health on Asti, I think, is going to be safer for this fight as well. We drew into Defy, which is great. I can cleanse. There's nothing in the deck right now that I want to cleanse, so I'll play Neurosurge first. We can always cleanse souls, of course, but it's not amazing to do that. And I guess I can cleanse the Negative Pulse and 1 soul, maybe. But we're playing Defy, 27 incoming damage. We're playing Negative Pulse. We'll play Capture Spirit. We'll play Friendship. Drain Power. And I will double play the Cleanse, because I want to get some health on Asti. We'll cleanse Negative Pulse and 1 soul, because I think I want to keep the Scourge in over the soul. Maybe taking Scourge out is better anyways. But having more Doom quickly, I think, is kind of where we want to be. Let's start with the free cards, though. So we'll play some souls here. We'll play another one. I'll play a Defy. I'll play Invoke, Bodyguard, and Unleash, or I could play Grave Warden as well. Probably I'm just playing the Grave Warden. Unleash is a lot of Doom, but Grave Warden prevents Asti from losing health. So now that we're stacking up Asti's health, we're a lot safer. Alright, let's start with Capture Spirit, and then we'll play a Soul. And another one. And another one. Cleanse. I could cleanse. I don't care about keeping Fetch in the deck, I guess, so... but I don't need to cleanse it before I draw it. So let's actually save the cleanse, and we'll just keep playing some Souls here. And I'll keep playing cards, because I want to draw into Oblivion. I'll play Defy, and then let's play Scourge, which triggers the reshuffle. And then we draw Oblivion, because we have Perfect Fit on it, so we can play it. We can play Fetch, drawing a card. I can play another Defy, and I will. And then I have 3 energy to spend, so let's play Countdown. Negative Pulse, that's enough block, and I guess we'll get the Sentry mode out here. There's obviously other ways that we could arrange this fight, but the goal is to take 0 damage, so I'm just focusing on doing that. Okay, Double Cast Defy is amazing. So the Glam reward, we're getting really good cards with Glam, but basically double casting this gives us a bunch of block, but 2 turns of weakness, which is incredibly important. So we're thrilled to be able to add that to the deck. Also, when you're fighting the Doormaker, just adding more cards to your deck is pretty good, because you're going to exhaust some of them. Here, I could get another Countdown. I'm definitely buying Bag of Preparation. It's one of the best relics out there. So I'm going to buy Bag of Preparation, and I'm going to remove our last strike. Just get rid of another bad card. No Escape is something we could do. We are going for a lot of Doom. Countdown is similar. I could take Gorget as well, which makes it easier to set up my my powers early on, just with a little bit of extra block. Orrery is also interesting. We do have Glam. I could also buy any of these potions if I want them for the boss fights. I don't think we need to save any of these potions, though. Let's take the Gorget. It'll help me maintain my health during the upcoming elite fights. And it's pretty nice for setting up some of our powers in the early turns here. And then we'll go take an event. I don't believe there's any way we can kill the Battle-Worn Dummy, no matter what type we get. Maybe the 75 HP one, if I draw like a good Oblivion setup, but it seems fairly unlikely. I guess I'll start with Capture Spirit, because maybe we can like Fetch or Scourge into Oblivion. Basically, this enemy you need to kill within the time limit in order to get the reward. Let's go Scourge here, trying to draw some souls. I missed. I'll play Friendship at least. But basically, the only way we kill this in time is with a big Oblivion turn, so that's what I'm drawing for. I'll play the Cleanse first. We can Cleanse and Defend. You never need those against this enemy. We'll play a Soul here. Play another one. I don't need to play Defies, of course. Getting Reaper form set up seems okay, but let's start with a Scourge, again, because I'm trying to draw into Oblivion, which we still haven't. Let's go Reaper form. I don't have any other way to generate health on Asti either, so we'll play Unleash, and that's at 50 Doom now, so Negative Pulse does kill it. Okay, so actually, maybe I could even have done the 151. But getting the card reward here is nice, and getting a random potion is pretty good as well. Or just getting the random potion, you don't get a card reward. Alright, any chance I want to go to the right for whatever reason, I think I'm happy committing to 2 elite fights. We get another shop, which isn't super relevant, but we also get to upgrade some cards and make sure that my health is full, because this is just a lot of campsites. It does give up some potential rewards with Glam, But I think our deck is fine. Like, if we took the boss fights right now, I think we would be in totally reasonable shape. So we're just going to take the path that puts us in the least danger and helps make our cards just that little bit stronger. I do want to upgrade Reaper form so that it has Retain. It makes it much less awkward to play it. And then we'll go to the left here, grab a relic. Blood Vial, not great at this point in the game, of course. We'll do another upgrade, and I could upgrade my doubled up Defy or my doubled up Grave Warden. Either of those are reasonable. I could upgrade Capture Spirit. It's just more souls right away. Upgrade Bodyguard, because it's better to start with that upgraded. I think that upgrading one of the replay cards makes the most sense, so let's upgrade Defy. We're casting it basically every time we draw it. So making sure that we get the most block out of it possible is going to be the most powerful option. This set of enemies is pretty dangerous for us, but we have Defy and our doubled Grave Warden, which will help a lot. So let's play Grave Warden first. I am going to play my Defy here, or my Scourge here. So I'm playing Scourge, Defy, Negative Pulse, and Sentry Mode are kind of my current default. So let's play Scourge and see what we draw into. Okay, we can Oblivion on this Spectral Knight. I do want to kill the Spectral Knight quickly because it makes my cards ethereal, which for this deck can be a little dangerous. I don't think we're playing the Reaper form this turn, though I guess I could. I could play it now, and then that makes it... We would lose the Defy, though. I think just getting Sentry Mode into play, or... Yeah, Sentry Mode is a little better than Countdown here. Playing the Defy, saving some health on Asti, and then I could play Negative Pulse for Doom on all of them, or Countdown, or Bodyguard. Let's get the... I mean, this is 21 Doom, which is sort of like 3 turns of Countdown. But let's play the Countdown because it starts ticking up right away. And then we retain our Reaper form, which will either etherealize with the Spectral Knight or play this turn if I have enough energy. Like, for example, if I had drawn into my Neurosurge, then we could have played Reaper form. We shouldn't need it for this fight, but it is an option here. Let's start with the Sweeping Gaze, because we're not drawing any cards this turn. So we'll just Sweeping Gaze for 10 damage. I'm definitely going to play the Defy. And I want to play Invoke as well. So let's play Defy on this enemy, double weaken it. And I could play Countdown and get that set up. I could play Unleash. I'm happy etherealizing everything else. Let's just get that Countdown into play. Here, we're going to start with a Cleanse. We can double Cleanse. And I'll get rid of 2 Defends, I think. Then I'll play another one. Get rid of our last Defend. That's fine. I will play Fetch, hitting this enemy, because again, I want to lower its health the most. I'll play Defy, because I would like to redraw it if I draw into enough card draw to make that happen. So we'll just Defy, and we're always playing Defy this turn anyways. Then we'll play the Soul here. We'll play Neurosurge, drawing 2 cards. So now I can Scourge. If I play Scourge, we always draw into Oblivion, but I can play Capture Soul first, and then we draw into a Soul. So let's do that. And now I can cycle my deck through and play an Oblivion. Scourge is upgraded, even though the Magi Knight removes our upgrades. Because we re-upgraded it by playing it with Razortooth. I wasn't aware of that interaction, but that's pretty powerful. Let's play the Soul here first, and then I'll play another Defy. I'll Defy on this enemy, keeping it weakened. And I'm defying this enemy because we're gonna maybe draw into another Defy here. Though I think I might just let the Scourge etherealize and play Sweeping Gaze, Negative Pulse, 17 block here, and Friendship and Invoke. Letting Scourge disappear, but this way we have a ton of energy for next turn. This turn, I will play the Sweeping Gaze first. I need to do 5 damage to this enemy, so Capture Spirit, so Fetch is enough. So we'll just hit this one with Fetch. Do I want to play Cleanse? I don't think I want to cleanse any of these cards, so we'll pass on playing Cleanse. Actually, it would have died anyways to the Thorns. I didn't need to hit it with Fetch here. So let's play Capture Spirit on this one. Play Negative Pulse. I have 12 block incoming, or 12 damage incoming, so let's Defy on this enemy to block the maximum damage. I'll play Scourge on this enemy, and then I have 2 cleanses. I do want to keep... I can cleanse Bodyguard, I think that's fine, so we'll cleanse Bodyguard, and we'll cleanse one of the souls. Even though having souls in the deck is good, I want Defy and Grave Warden for next turn, because the Magi Knight here is going to do a really big attack. Got it. It's 40 damage attack incoming, so we want to be able to defy that, of course. Which we're going to do. And, oh, I should have played the soul first, because I have Oblivion as an option as well. So obviously... I gave up 1 trigger of Oblivion, but we will get enough Doom on this enemy that it won't be a problem anyways. Then let's play a Cleanse here. Because I need to draw a bunch of Defies, basically. But do I want to cleanse anything first? I think I'm just going to use all 3 of my energy this turn on Defies, if we can draw into those. So I'll play Soul. We're now not going to draw 2 more Defies, so I will play Capture Spirit on this enemy. And then I'll play a Soul, because I'm trying to draw into more Souls to draw Defies. And we drew 0 Defies, so that's unlucky, but I can at least... So now I'm taking some damage this turn, but I can play this, I can play Grave Warden, and I can play Negative Pulse. And then we're going to take a fairly substantial hit, but we have another campsite coming up. Just because I didn't manage to draw into any of those Defies. And then I can Sweeping Gaze and end the turn. Alright. Oddly Smooth Stone, great relic. Really happy to see that. Double Deathbringer is pretty incredible. Double Delay is also pretty incredible. Double Enfeebling Touch is great as well. It turns out when you get a card when you get to play a card twice, it's pretty nice. So 26 block and 4 energy next turn for 2 is not bad at all. The Doormaker has some multi-attacks. The Queen has a lot of multi-attacks, which Enfeebling Touch is very good against. But I think that keeping them weakened for many turns is kind of the best thing here. So I'm going to take the double Deathbringer. We immediately heal back to full, and I didn't draw any powers to upgrade. So let's just upgrade my Grave Warden for the most block here. And then the first time we play it, it's worth 22 block, which is great. Then we can go to the Soul Nexus fight. Let's start with Oblivion, and we'll play Capture Spirit as well. Then I can't... I'm going to play the Fetch here, because I can't do any other deck manipulation yet. Then I'll play my Cleanse, and we'll cleanse... where's... Oh, do I have Draining Strike? Yeah, I have Drain Power in hand already. That's what I was looking to cleanse. But we'll cleanse Defend, and for a second cleanse, I'll just cleanse the Ascender's Bane. Just remove 1 dead draw from the deck. And then here, I am going to play the Scourge. Okay, now I can Neurosurge. Draw some more cards. We can play double Drain Power. Actually, I should have played double Grave Warden. I should have played the double Grave Warden before Neurosurge to make souls more live as possible draws. And then I can just play everything. So, great start to the Soul Nexus fight here. This turn, I'm gonna leave the Soul in the deck, because I just have a kind of perfect turn, even if I don't draw cards. We have 28 incoming damage this turn, so let's start with another cleanse, and I'll cleanse a defend here. And then I'll play this soul. I'll play another soul. And another one. Reaper form, I'm not going to play this turn, so let's play the Scourge, because I am looking for my Defy here. But I can then actually do a reshuffle, and we can play Oblivion. So let's play this soul. Play Oblivion first, and then I have 2 energy that I can spend. So I could also just play the Deathbringer twice instead of playing Defy. It means that Defy will disintegrate. Play Sweeping Gaze here, of course. I think that keeping the Defy in the deck is pretty good, so I'm going to play that, and I'll just play an Invoke, making my next turn easier. And then here, I can play Capture Spirit first, making my draws better. Grave Warden next, again making my draws better. And then we'll play... I think I can play the Reaper form this turn, so I'm going to play it. I'll play Fetch, doing some damage to the enemy here. We'll play a Soul. I could redraw Oblivion if I, like, cycle through the whole deck. But what I really want to play is just a bunch of blocking cards. So I'm just going to play Negative Pulse here. The enemy is, and we'll play Sweeping Gaze, of course. The enemy's doing 34 damage. We do have enough block this turn. But let's play a Cleanse, and we'll cleanse a Soul here. And then I just need to do enough blocking that we don't die this turn, and we'll have done a 0 damage taken Soul Nexus fight. Because we kill it just with this, and then let's go with Cleanse on, I guess, a Soul here, and we'll play a Soul, we'll play another Defy, and that's 20 blocks, so we're good. Alright, Kusarigama is not great for this deck. Double Dirge, oh man, replay on Borrowed Time is actually not good, because it's going to make all of my cards cost extra. Now, Borrowed Time is still a really powerful effect, and the rework on this card really lets you play things like Reaper form much more easily. But having it be double played means that we gain 8 energy, but everything is going to cost an extra 2. So that's going to eat through that 8 energy pretty quickly. Now, it's still probably the pick here. Dirge, when you have replay on it, I believe that it will... The second one will just be for 0, because you won't have any energy to spend on it. I'm actually not 100% sure of that interaction, so somebody let me know in the comments if you have replay on an X cost card. Is the second copy for the same value as you spent on it, or is it for 0? I believe it's for 0. But I think we will still take Borrowed Time. It's just a lot of energy. It's a really powerful card, and it's going to let us get our powers out early. All right. So now we're going into the boss fights here. I can't afford to buy any of these relics. Let's look at the potions. Bottled Potential is, of course, better than a Strength Potion. Gigantification Potion is not great. Another Grave Warden, of course, is pretty good, especially for the Doormaker fight. This is just a way to add some more block to the deck that we can exhaust on the bad turns for this deck. We could add another Countdown to make these fights a little bit faster. This is an interesting spot as to what to buy again. But I think, let's see, I'm going to spend my upgrade probably on Borrowed Time, just because making it 6 energy, 1 for 12, but everything costs 2 more, still means you're going to be able to play your whole deck most of the time. So I think I'm going to buy the Grave Warden here, just because having 1 more good block card in the deck is pretty good. Now, this doesn't come from a reward, so it doesn't have replay. I also don't need a third cleanse, so I'm going to pass on that. And we'll go to the campsite. We'll upgrade our borrowed time here. And then it's on to the Doormaker fight. The Doormaker's been reworked yet again. So it's yet another different setup for this fight. It basically has slightly easier moves during the... It basically just does a little less damage. That being said, do I want to use my strength potion against it or the queen? I think we'll save it for the queen. The queen, I think, is going to be a little more dangerous for this character. I'll play Capture Spirit here, shuffle some souls into the deck. And I will play the Neurosurge. And I'll play 2 cleanses. And we'll cleanse a Defend and a Drain Power. Cards I never want to draw, basically. Unfortunately, these Defies don't do anything against the door, because it's going to cleanse all these debuffs, but it's still worth playing them because they upgrade and they stay in the deck. This turn, it's going to eat anything that I play, so I need to be a little careful about what I play, but souls exhaust anyways, so it's fairly simple to play those. So we'll play 2 souls here. What don't I mind exhausting? I don't think I mind exhausting Scourge. I kind of want to keep Invoke in the deck. Reaper Form I'll hang on to as well. Other cards I don't mind exhausting. I don't mind exhausting my cleanses at this point as well. I don't want to exhaust Oblivion. That's going to be how we kill the enemy. I don't want to exhaust Unleash because it works well with Reaper Form. So I think I don't hate exhausting the Grave Warden here. It's a lot of block, and it shuffles 2 souls in, and we still have another one in the deck because we got a second one. So I think we're going to exhaust Grave Warden for 24 block. That blocks enough damage that we don't take damage. I think I will also exhaust the Negative Pulse because I don't mind not redrawing that. And then I'll play Friendship. Fairly complex fight with the Doormaker deciding what to exhaust, when you can, redraw a card, or when you want to draw cards, and so on. Okay, so this turn, I can play Oblivion first. And then we can't draw a card, so no point in playing the Soul, because we're under the Scrutiny effect. But what I can do is play Reaper Form. And then I'll play the Borrowed Time. It does eat my Borrowed Time replay, but it's worth it to be able to just play these cards. And then we can keep the enemy weakened for many turns by playing double Defy here, blocking all the incoming damage, and double Deathbringer, stacking a bunch of Doom on the enemy. It's now already at 100 Doom. $16 damage this turn, and this turn is whenever we play a card, we lose an energy. So that means that 0-cost cards we can still play after we've played a bunch of other cards, but we'll keep losing energy here. Is there anything I want to exhaust to cleanse here? I don't think so. So I'll start with Scourge. And this costs 2 energy to play, basically. Then I'll play Grave Warden, which also costs 2 energy to play. We'll accept taking a little bit of damage. I'll play the Fetch here. Yeah, I don't have like a Defy or anything that I could draw into. So that's fine. So we'll play the Fetch just because it's a little bit of damage and Doom. And this is all okay. We'll take a little damage on Asti here. This turn, it's devouring our cards again, so I do not want to play the Oblivion, but I'm okay playing Negative Pulse. Let's start by playing the Soul. And I'm definitely okay playing Cleanse here. I do not mind removing that from the deck. I could just cleanse my other Cleanse as well, but I think I'll cleanse probably just a Defend. We have a lot of Defies, which are just better defends, so I think I'm okay just removing that. Sentry Mode I definitely want in play. I'm going to play the Negative Pulse here. I could use my Fortifier Potion, but we're not taking any damage, we're just losing Asti's health. So I think that's fine. We'll play Sentry Mode and we'll play Countdown. Keep the fight relatively easy here. This turn we can't draw cards, so let's start by playing our Defy, weakening the enemy. We'll play a Defend. I'll play the Captured Spirit, and I could play Borrowed Time. I guess it doesn't really matter whether we play the Borrowed Time or not, so we'll just play Sweeping Gaze and Scourge. This is the turn when everything becomes more expensive after it gets played. Now here I probably do need to draw into a blocking card, so I'm going to play a Soul even though it costs 1 to play. We'll play the Soul, and then I'll play another one, because I probably need to use my Fortifier Potion this turn. Alright, so this is unlucky. We are not drawing a single block card. But let's play another Soul here. Okay, we finally drew our Defy, and then I will use my Fortifier Potion to avoid taking a bunch of damage, and then I can at least play Fetch and Sweeping Gaze. I was really hoping to be able to play Invoke this turn as well, but it's fine. We made it through the difficult turn. So here, we're probably killing the enemy in a couple turns anyways, so I could play Oblivion. We're also neurosurging up. We have 21 Doom and 66 health, so that's fine. We don't have to worry about that. We're losing Defy anyways, because if I don't play it, it gets etherealized, because it's ethereal. If I do play it, it gets eaten by the Doormaker. So, do I want to play Oblivion this turn? I think so. I think we will have enough Doom this turn that we can afford to eat the Oblivion, and then I'm going to play... what else do I want to eat? I guess we're going to disintegrate most of the deck. So I'll play Grave Warden here. That disintegrates, but it shuffles a Soul in, and we're going to stack up a bunch of Doom with Oblivion this turn. We'll play our Soul. We'll play a Defy and a Defy, eating both of those, of course. And then a Sweeping Gaze, and then that's 32 block. So we left Deathbringer in the deck. 25 block this turn, or 25 damage coming in this turn. I can't draw any cards, so let's start with our Bodyguard, Defy, Sweeping Gaze, and we'll don't need to play the Borrowed Time. Maybe disintegrating Oblivion last turn was bad. I think we'll still be fine, but it is putting me under a little bit more time pressure than I had hoped for. We have 28 incoming damage this turn. So let's start by playing Scourge for 16 Doom on the enemy. And then we haven't built up a lot of health on Asti is the other thing. Normally the goal here would be to build up a lot of health on Asti for a big Unleash turn. But since I didn't manage to do that, it's become a little bit more difficult. So, 28 incoming damage this turn. I can play Scourge, but then I'm not doing any blocking. But I don't really have a good way to do any blocking. So, I can play Cleanse, removing a Soul. I can just play the Invoke as well. I think playing Invoke is going to be the best here, and we'll play Sweeping Gaze. That puts it at 340. We take a bunch of damage. We still have enough health that we're not too worried about this. And then I can play Deathbringer, applying a bunch of Doom. And keeping it weakened. I can play Sweeping Gaze here. I'll play the Soul as well. Because this is the turn where we're just removing the rest of our deck in order to kill the enemy. And we'll play Unleash. And then I'll play Fetch, drawing a card. And I'll play Cleanse. Doesn't matter what I disintegrate. We'll play Invoke and Capture Spirit. And then we take another substantial hit. So our health is going to be a little lower against the enemy this turn. Or against the Queen than I wanted. Because I definitely messed up that Doormaker fight. Just kind of misplayed my cards. But I think we should still be okay here. Might as well use the Strength Potion, no reason not to. And then let's play Oblivion. I will play the Cleanse. And I want to... So I'm going to cleanse 2 cards. We'll cleanse 1 Defend and 1... I'll cleanse the Drain Power. We just never want to draw that. Against this enemy, the total number of cards in my deck isn't that big a deal, so I can cleanse more aggressively. In the last fight, I probably should not have cleansed as much as I did. And we'll play Negative Pulse, and we'll play Friendship. Getting 8 health on Asti here. Alright, so the Queen, of course, binds 3 of our cards. We can't play more than 1 of these 3 cards. That's fine. Let's start with Deathbringer, I think. Because I can play... So I can play Deathbringer, Borrowed Time, and Defend. I could get the Reaper form into play, but getting the Deathbringer out, putting Weaken and a bunch of Doom on all these enemies, I think is going to be the most important thing. And then I'm going to play a Defend here, upgrading that. I'm not going to play Borrowed Time because I can't play anything else. And we retain the Reaper form so we can play it next turn. 27 damage incoming this turn. We're losing a Defy because we drew both of them, but that's okay. That's why we have 2 Defies. Let's go with our... We'll play the first Defy here. And I could get Reaper form out. I don't think that matters that much. Let's play a Scourge. I'll play another Defy, keeping this enemy weakened for longer. And then I'll play Sentry form, which of course I do want as well. Alright, we finally drew our Neurosurge. This is what we've mostly been waiting for. I can't play Capture Spirit first, but let's play Grave Warden first. Shuffle in a Soul. Then I'll play Neurosurge. I'll double play this Grave Warden as well. And I can get Reaper form into play, because we played our Neurosurge. I'll play Invoke, and Countdown, and Sweeping Gaze. Now, this does give me a limited number of turns to win the fight, but we should have more than enough here. This turn, I can... I've got 2 souls bound, so let's definitely play one of the bound souls. I would rather play that than fetch here. Because that will let me then redraw into Oblivion, which we want. I'll play Oblivion on the Torchhead Amalgam. We'll play a Grave Warden. I'll play a Soul here. I will play a Scourge, drawing some more cards. Play another Soul. I can start weakening the Queen, because the Torchhead should die this turn, right? Let's play the Sweeping Gaze, see which we hit. Okay, we hit the block on the enemy, which is a little worse for us, of course. But let's play Deathbringer. Now at 171. I'll play Negative Pulse, and that blocks most of the incoming damage. So 182 Doom. So any other card that I play is good enough. So we'll start stacking Weakness on the Queen, and we'll play Bodyguard here as well. This turn, I could play Scourge as my bound card. I could play Capture Spirit. We don't have another way to draw, though. So Capture Spirit or Grave Warden I don't really want to play, so let's play the Scourge. I have Borrowed Time, so I really want to draw cards because I want to use my Borrowed Time to the maximum effectiveness. I think I can cleanse my bad Defend here. And then I'm going to play Sweeping Gaze, Invoke, and I guess just the Unleash. We don't need to play the Borrowed Time. And then we are taking 2 damage here, because I didn't draw any... Well, I drew this block, so maybe the card draw was a little aggressive, because I took 2 damage, which does give me, again, 1 fewer turn to win before we get doomed. But we still have more than enough turns, so it's fine. I don't need to play these Negative Pulses. Let's play the Oblivion here. Also, we drew 3 cards off our Centennial Puzzle. Let's play the Oblivion, and then I don't have any card draw in hand currently, so I'll play Grave Warden, play Sweeping Gaze, because we're always doing that, play Defy, because I'm always doing that, and then we'll play we'll just play everything. I'm going to cleanse, and I'll cleanse the other cleanse, which we no longer really need. Play Deathbringer, play Countdown. Take a little damage on Asti here. This turn, I can... I'll start with the Scourge, see what we draw into. I definitely want to play Defy. I definitely want to play Invoke. So let's play Defy, Invoke, Sweeping Gaze, and then... This Borrowed Time has really not been great, because we just haven't been able to ever play it. But I'll play the Fetch here, and I could play Bodyguard or Capture Spirit. We have only 2 souls in the deck, so let's play a Capture Spirit, because I want more souls. This turn, I should probably play the Grave Warden over the Soul or the Unleash, just because I'm going to need some block. So let's play that, shuffle a soul in. Then I'm going to play another soul, and another one, which will let me redraw Oblivion, guaranteed, which we'll play. Then I'll play another soul, and I could cleanse something before redrawing. I guess I could cleanse Borrowed Time, since it's been so bad. That seems fine. Let's cleanse the Borrowed Time here. Now is, of course, the turn where it would be good to draw it, but if we don't draw it this turn specifically, I think I'd rather just not have it in the deck. And then, looks like we're actually just going to be able to win this turn, because I can play Deathbringer. Well, let's play Defy, and then Deathbringer is 26 Doom, and the enemy is going to take 15 damage as well, and the Sweeping Gaze, so that should be enough. Yeah. And we have plenty of block here. So there we go. I definitely messed up the Doormaker fight, such that the Queen fight was a little harder than it had to be, or a little closer than it had to be. But, you know, we still had 3 more turns of just looping through Oblivion, so we could have dealt 500 more damage to the Queen before we died to the Neurosurge. Even though I messed up some sequencing in the Doormaker fight, this was still a pretty clean win with the Necrobinder. Overall, this deck came together extremely well, and I really enjoyed playing it. The Borrowed Time, I guess, was a pretty bad selection. Anything that stands out as something I wouldn't take next time? Obviously, the Drain Power ended up being bad because we found Razortooth immediately after, but I still stand by that pick. 2 negative pulses, maybe we didn't need the second one, but these were pretty good overall. But the key here was really just finding Friendship and Neurosurge. These are 2 of the most important cards for this class, Friendship especially. Either Friendship or Borrowed Time are very important to make the Necrobinder tick, so you usually are going to want one of these. And just a bunch of Defies is such a good baseline strategy that this character can build your plan off of that pretty easily. Also, Oblivion is an incredible card as well. All right, my friends. Hope that you have enjoyed this run with the Necrobinder. As always, of course, if you have enjoyed the video, feel free to leave a comment and hit like. Helps me out with the algorithm, so I appreciate you taking the time to do that. And of course, you can subscribe to my channel for more Slay the Spire 2 and other strategy game analysis. Cheers, I'll catch you next time.